Welcome back, panelists here. NBC News Washington correspondent Yamiche Alcindor. She's also moderator of Washington Week. Amna Nawaz is the co-anchor of NewsHour and PBS. Stephen Hayes, editor of The Dispatch, and former Democratic Senator Claire McCaskill. Welcome to all of you. I'm going to start with the lawmaker, because you've been there when they've been trying to do police reform a few times now. The most recent time, I think it didn't happen, stuck on qualified immunity. Should we have any hope that this time is different?
I'm always optimistic, and I do think this is brutal. And people who think that body cams on police officers are not doing what they should, I get that. This young man died, but we now know exactly what happened. So it does make a difference. So we are to the point that if you do this, a camera is going to catch it. Yeah. And I've got to applaud Memphis and that police chief, how quickly they brought this out to the public and how quickly they charged him with murder.
You know, Yamiche, I want to play something that the chief said about why she was so quick and forthcoming. Here's what she said to Tom Yamas.
What I wanted to deliver for this family at least was that first step of justice for them, to quickly deal with these officers within the scope of my power and to help facilitate this movement to the DA's office as well. It was obvious to me that what I saw was beyond the scope of what is condoned in this police department and any department that I've ever worked in before.
Yamiche, a different police chief might have gone to internal affairs. A different police chief might have waited a longer period of time before this guy. This was a case where her leadership mattered here in how this was handled. She didn't follow a new protocol. She created her own.
She did make sure to try to deliver and then try to act very quickly. The issue is that a different police chief can do something different today. Right. That if there's a Tyre Nichols today, if there's a Rovon Wells' son today who for 67 minutes is beaten and dragged, that a different police chief can do that because we don't have a federal database. And Jim Jordan says that he sees this video, this evil, he called it, as part of the weaponization of the government, which is when the police kill you, it is the government killing you. But he says that he doesn't know what law would change that. And there are so many civil rights leaders that I've talked to, families that I've talked to, who would vehemently disagree because, again, we don't know how many Tyre Nichols are there because we don't have that. Also, I just want to say, this was such a horrific and terrible video. It's so problematic that we see these officers tying their shoes, not rendering medical aid. It seems to me that this is ordinary. It is terrible, but it's also very familiar. So to me, as I'm struggling to cover this because I really do see this and think to myself, how many other people have been in this situation? And when we have video, it doesn't mean that they're going to get justice. And by the way, justice is Tyre Nichols being here for his 4-year-old child and seeing him grow up. But to see this video and say video is changing things, Rodney King was on video. Eric Garner was on video. I've talked to all of those families. They don't believe just seeing this is enough. You have to actually have change, and it has to be that this doesn't happen again.
That's what this video situation, it does feel like without the video, there wouldn't have been any justice.
Sure.
We're getting it too late, but she brings up a point. It was interesting to hear the congressman agree that, the interstate, the wandering cop issue is I guess we got to, and I understand he's got an ideological point of view about it not doing that, but he also admitted the flaw, I think.
Sure, and look, you can pick apart any single factor and all the wandering cop issue, body cameras, banning chokeholds, all of this stuff. These are all little pieces of what's clearly a larger problem. And I think when we treat these incidents like isolated incidents, we fail to see the forest for the trees, which is to say there's a larger problem here. We've all been having this conversation, certainly many people for generations, but really as a nation for the last 3 years since the killing of George Floyd. What has changed since then? 2022, we actually had the highest number of police killings on record, nearly 1,200. That was 2 years after the killing of George. These are incomplete records too, by the way. And these are incomplete, correct. So you can look at the unique combination of factors on the ground in Memphis, where they did have a number of reforms after the killing of George Floyd as well, but you needed multiple body camera angles and security camera. You needed a chief who was willing to act. You needed labor union laws on the ground that allowed for a quick investigation in a way a lot of other cities wouldn't. All of this had to come together for there to be swift justice. That's not the case in most places in this country.
Steve, how would we break through the ideological belief from some that Congressman Jordan expressed, which is no, when the federal government gets involved, you won't like it.
Well, look, I think he made a valid point at the beginning of his answer to you, which is to say sometimes it's not possible to pass laws to solve problems like this. I mean, I take your point. I mean, I think one time seeing something like this is far too many. I don't think this has become ordinary, and I think one of the things that you can take some comfort from, as horrific as this has been, is that there has been this universal condemnation of what happened. I mean, the Fraternal Order of the Police put out a statement condemning this. You've had conservative Republicans, Jim Jordan, putting out a statement. Nobody believes that this is acceptable. And I do think that, to the senator's point, the fact that it was captured on video allowed the police chief to take these steps as quickly as it has. I think Yamiche is right. We've seen this stuff on video before and it hasn't led to quick solutions. But the fact that this led to the kind of immediate, I think, swift action is a step in the right direction.
I just want to add, though, that I think when we talk about the fact that we see this and where there's talk about this and there are statements released, Black families are waking up this morning traumatized and are worried about sending their children out in the street. Black men are driving cars and hoping they don't get pulled over. Yeah. People that are pregnant with Black boys are worried right now that they could ever see their child that they made for 9 months be killed in a matter of minutes because of this. I don't know that people see this. The people that are most impacted by this, which I say, well, frankly, are Black people, are looking at this and saying that this is enough, that seeing this on camera is enough. And I think for me, when I cover this stuff and I cover all of this this death, I think we have to have this conversation about the fact that also the officers are Black, and that's not surprising. And I think maybe it's not ordinary. Not every single officer is doing this, but I think it is ordinary enough that African Americans are scared and that this happens far too often, and we just don't know how often this is happening. So I think that's the sort of issue that I take with this and the conversation.
All right, I'm going to pause the conversation here. We're going to come back. We're going to get into a little more raw politics.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.